I didn't know where Shrewsbury Town was. I had a hell of a job finding my way to Shrewsbury Town. Got there eventually, and when we got there, the assistant manager of Wolves was there, a Scottish international I'd played against, myself, and I'm trying to remember who the other was, and I said to the Scottish international, I didn't know you played here. Well, I can't repeat his language. He said, I didn't play here. And the assistant manager of Wolves. Then they decided we'd go to the boardroom and we would draw straws. We would draw straws for who would be first and who would be last. I drew the longest straw. By that time I was cutting teeth and I wasn't subservient Harry Gregg, and I wasn't going to take the least, and I was maybe a little bit himself. Got home, my dear mother said, there's been a Mr. Yates on the telephone and he would like to speak to you. And that would be about 11 o'clock at night, and I rang up and said, hello, I believe you want to speak to me. And he said, yes, the job is yours if you want it. And they were Shrewsbury Town were lovely people. I was there for 4 years. I had John Phillips, who eventually went on to Aston Villa and Chelsea and did Peter Bennett out of his place. I had a lovely giant of a fella who finished up married a Shrewsbury girl, Joe Corrigan of Manchester City in England. I had a youngster I took on a free transfer, a boy called Jim Holton. 6'2", eyes of blue, big Jim Holton's after you. His eyes were as brown as you could see. I had a fella called Alfie Wood who was a thug and a hooligan, but scored 20 goals, 18, 20 goals from centre half, and I thought if I can find a young centre half, I'll move this fellow up the front. And I put the young centre half in. I put in the paper I was moving Wood up the front and playing this young untried youngster on a free transfer from West Brom. And at a shareholders meeting, the chief shareholder stood up. Now, at a shareholders meeting, you're the manager, you sit down and know your place. It's up to the chairman to answer questions. And the leading shareholder stood up and said, the most ridiculous statement I've heard in my life, playing the best centre halves and playing an untried youngster. And Mr. Yates, that wonderful guy, the chairman, he ducked under the table and I had to reply. And all I said was, don't judge me before the ball is kicked, judge me at the end of the season. At the end of the season, Jim Holton had become a great centre half, who was eventually transferred to Manchester United, and Alf Wood scored 42 goals at centre forward. I'd wonderful memories at Shrewsbury Town with good people and for the right reasons. Sheffield Wednesday offered 18,000, and Peter said under no circumstances. United then offered 20 and said they weren't going any higher, and Peter said, you will go when I say you will go. You will go to the best. Yes, boss. I mean, that's how it was. And eventually I was transferred to United for, I think it was 23,500, of which I got £33. And I said before, if I had been born a rich man, I would have paid to go to Manchester United. I mean, that is basically fact. Even Windsor Avenue, I'm in headlines. It's hard to describe what it feels like. It's an act. And a youngster on the pitch and asked me to sign his autograph, and I signed his autograph. And we beat Leicester City, I think 3-0. Big Arthur Rowley was the centre forward. Funny enough, a brother of the great Jack Rowley, who had played for Manchester United.
It's Matt Busby's team talks.
Unbelievable. A badge bigger. And he knew he was. To this day, 2 fingers on the table. Home and away. If you weren't good enough, you wouldn't be here. Up together, back together, up together, back together, God bless, and he walked out. I mean, that is fact. Would never allow in the dressing room after a game, and I copied him on that thing I did copy, never allowed one bit of dissent. Because all he would say was, we'll talk about it Monday. Because there was so much emotion, he felt there was so much emotion.